Hello everyone, welcome to episodes 15 and 16 of this comedy series, in the capital city's Earth Mansion, where dark energy accumulated to create an eerie atmosphere. In the lower hall of the palace, the young master of the Earth Mansion held a gemstone in his hand and presented it to his subordinate. He unleashed a powerful surge of spiritual energy with his magical technique, causing the subordinate to break out in a sweat. He then used his cold gaze to focus the energy onto the gemstone in his hand, illuminating a corner with a beam of light, but upon inspection, the gemstone had developed cracks. The subordinate was astonished and had to squint to confirm what he was seeing. He exclaimed, "Oh my, young master, you've managed to crack the dragon pearl with just your pressure alone. It's truly incredible. This is the hardest natural material in the underworld. With your power, you could easily rank among the top 100 in the martial arts ranking." The young prince replied modestly, "How could that be possible? A small fry like me could never compare to the great figures in the heavenly place. But at least I won't be punished anymore, which is quite a relief." As they were chatting, the subordinate suddenly froze, signaling to the young master, who failed to notice someone approaching from behind. The burly man stepped up behind him and interrogated, "What are you laughing at? Finding this amusing?" The young prince lowered his face solemnly and replied, "It's nothing, father." He then ordered his servant to bring the gemstone and sternly said, "This is the thing you dare to boast about." He crushed the gemstone in front of the young prince and continued in a severe tone, "Is that all you've got?" The young prince's face showed a hint of sadness as he nervously rubbed his sleeve. When he didn't respond, the man grew furious, raising his fist and lunging towards him, saying, "I'm asking you, do you still think you're so great?" The punch struck his face mercilessly, sending him flying and crashing into the wall with a loud crash. The young prince sat heavily on the ground, struggling to get up, the spot where he had been sitting now a gaping hole from the impact. He was then grabbed by the neck and shaken in fear by his father, who spoke coldly, "Let me remind you, someone with your mediocre talent, no matter how hard you try, will only ever reach grade 3, never grade 9. After saying this, he threw him to the ground and walked away. Before leaving, he sneered, 10 days of confinement should sober you up, you useless waste." The young prince lay curled up on the ground and softly responded to his father, "Yes, father." The scene shifted to a temporary military camp in the mountains, where two guards whispered to each other in the forest. "It's really breaking the rules for nothing. Just to take a leak and we have to go 3 miles away from the camp," said the scar-faced bald soldier coldly. The other soldier, with a long-haired scalp, replied, "Let's talk less, dragon flag. Our army dominates the world not just because of strict discipline, right?" Suddenly, both of them startled as they saw a mysterious bottle of wine rolling towards them. Curious, they looked inside and heard sounds. "What's this sound?" whispered the soldier with long hair. Upon closer inspection, they saw countless terrifying faces inside the bottle, causing the soldier with long hair to scream in fear, "Ah, what is this?" The scar-faced bald soldier tried to calm the other, saying, "Nothing to be surprised about," as he examined the bottle and confidently asserted, "It must be the work of some idol cult." Suddenly, a mysterious purple air split the face of the bald soldier in half. The soldier with long hair turned around and was horrified to see numerous giant figures surrounding him. His face turned pale, devoid of any trace of blood, as he shouted, "What kind of creatures are you?" After the soldier's hoarse cry, only a corpse remained with a pool of fresh blood under the night sky. 10 days later, outside the low mountain, 2 figures could be faintly seen. After rescuing the king and people of the Kingdom of Women, Hao Xian had to flee all night because the entire city sought to repay his kindness, but Hao Xian alone couldn't handle it all. He showed unhappiness as life without love made him feel miserable. Hao Xian expressed his frustration in front of Mysterious Lady, "Damn it, it's not over yet." On the journey, for some unknown reason, the little monkey king not only couldn't recover but also fell into a deep sleep. In other words, during these days of the journey, there were only 2 people, Hao Xian and Mysterious Lady. Hao Xian approached Mysterious Lady and jokingly asked, "Mysterious Lady, besides martial arts, do you have any other special talents? Mysterious lady calmly replied, no, I only know martial arts. Hao Xian tried to make mysterious lady show a hint of fear as he said, so, do you have any happy memories from the past? She hesitated and replied, I'm sorry, I only train in martial arts every day. Hearing her response, Hao Xian awkwardly chuckled and said, well then, tell me about something you're interested in, let's chat. Mysterious lady shyly reiterated that her interest was solely in martial arts. The two walked together in an awkward atmosphere, but soon they arrived at a desolate place. Hao Xian panicked and shouted, wake up, little monkey, don't scare me to death, as he held the little monkey in his arms. Hao Xian thought to himself, the kid shouldn't have any problems. But why is he just unconscious? His vital signs seem normal. Hao Xian looked at his hand and silently prayed. What was even stranger was that ever since he used the card twice, a vague source of power had begun to emerge within his body. This power felt familiar, as if it belonged to him. While pondering, he was suddenly pulled out of his thoughts by the system's announcement, target area reached. Looking at the desolate landscape before him, Hao Xian whispered to himself, finally, we're here. Why is the king of hell in the mortal army? After that, Hao Xian's group proceeded to this battlefield and immediately noticed that everywhere were corpses. Each of them seemed to have their life force drained, rather than being casualties of combat. Hao Xian looked down with a grim expression, feeling a sense of dread as he witnessed the scene of bodies scattered all around the camp. These corpses all seemed to have died in a similar manner, which made everything even more unsettling. Hao Xian was horrified by what he saw and wondered, has there been some kind of war here? Mysterious lady also walked around, examining the situation. She then noticed the thick aura in the air and remarked, what is going on here? Even under normal circumstances, people wouldn't die like this. At this moment, the system also informed Hao Xian that the king of hell was not currently in the camp. Without hesitation, the two continued on their way. Hao Xian and mysterious lady arrived at a forest and stopped in front of a tomb. There was a stone tablet at the entrance of the tomb with an inscription that read, the residence of the king of hell is here. After reading that inscription, Hao Xian was horrified. He trembled as he spoke each word, could it be, in this tomb? Hao Xian was overcome with fear, sitting down on the ground, shivering. The reason for his intense fear stemmed from his childhood experience of watching a terrifying horror movie for 180 minutes, which left a lasting impression of horror and dread. The movie featured scenes of monstrous creatures, giant cockroaches, dancing zombies, and slithering snakes. Just thinking about it made him feel so scared that he lay helpless on the ground, crying uncontrollably, I don't want to go in there. But if I don't complete the mission, I'll lose my life. Oh, mother, I want to go back to Earth, where I can eat salad and watch TV all day. Tears streamed down his face, feeling like there was no other option. Seeing Hao Xian's continuously changing and trembling expression, mysterious lady found it strange and approached him, asking, Master, why are you so frightened? Suddenly being asked a question felt like a bolt from the blue, and he stood frozen for a few seconds, sweat pouring down his forehead. It was then that Hao Xian realized he had been too scared and let his disciple see it, causing suspicion. In that decisive moment, Hao Xian used his boundless intelligence to bluff, aha, how could I possibly be scared? I'm just joking. Master is so powerful that it's boring, so I like to act dramatic to liven up the atmosphere and avoid boredom. Just ignore my expressions, haha. Hearing this, mysterious lady believed him wholeheartedly. Being inherently honest and not suspecting those around her, she fell for his clever deception. Not only that, but mysterious lady also praised, the master truly lives up to his reputation. This behavior is truly strange and difficult to understand. Then she said, let me lead the way then, and promptly entered the cave inside the tomb. Seeing mysterious lady moving away from him, Hao Xian panicked and ran after her, hey, slow down. Don't go too far from the master. Once inside, the darkness was as thick as ink, and there was no sound. making the surroundings incredibly eerie and cold. Hao Xian was so afraid that he stuck close to Mysterious Lady as they walked. His face turned pale, and he thought to himself, this underground space is so vast, just like what was written in the lost tomb, isn't it? Seeing Hao Xian's pitiful expression, Mysterious Lady secretly admired her master, praising his acting skills. My master is truly a master. If I hadn't known in advance, I would have really thought my master was clueless. However, it must be said that the atmosphere here was becoming increasingly oppressive, making everyone uncomfortable. Mysterious Lady's face also grew solemn as a result. Suddenly, there was a clang sound in the quiet space, startling Hao Xian. He turned to look, his heart racing with fear. Meanwhile, Mysterious Lady stood there calmly, observing her master's performance with satisfaction and pride. Hao Xian continued to ponder the sound he had just heard, not knowing what it was but feeling a chill run down his spine upon hearing it again. He kept his eyes fixed in that direction, his lips tightly pressed together. Then, a frog jumped out from that spot, and he breathed a sigh of relief at the sight. Hao Xian breathed a sigh of relief, his spirits lifting. Wow, it's just a green frog. It scared me out of my wits. Venturing into these places is really putting our little family's safety on the line, he said nonchalantly. However, behind him, there loomed a dark mass, with giant supernatural creatures roaring ferociously. Unaware of the danger, Hao Xian continued, the danger seems to have been averted. No need to worry anymore, that's great. Sensing something, Mysterious Lady's face darkened. Feeling a chill down his spine, Hao Xian turned around, freezing in place. His face dumbfounded, he muttered, oh, it's just a rural river. Observing this scene, Mysterious Lady remained vigilant. Thinking to herself, these are all beast-level demons. What kind of supernatural phenomenon is happening here? Creatures from the earth realm can't just appear in the mortal realm. Something must be terribly wrong somewhere. As the ferocious beasts howled, emitting sounds of hunger and thirst from ancient times, Hao Xian regained some semblance of composure and bolted for his life, clutching Wukong tightly, fear driving him like the wind. But those beasts weren't going to let him go so easily. They hurled purple energy coils that wrapped around Hao Xian's body, leaving him helpless as he cried out, help! I'm going to die. Help! Meanwhile, one of the beasts was opening its mouth wide, ready to devour him. Mysterious Lady, watching from below, remained remarkably calm. Remembering the earlier conversation where her master had assured her it was all just a playful act, she decided to trust him and replied with a sunny smile, it's okay, master. You're strong, you're probably just playing around with those guys. Seeing her naive smile, Hao Xian's anger flared, and he shouted, hey! Why are you so calm? I'm about to die. Hurry up and save me. Do you want to let that thing swallow master? Hurry, save me. Despite his desperate pleas and flailing, the creature's mouth was wide enough to swallow a dozen like him. Hao Xian, feeling utterly helpless, cried his heart out and said to himself, I'm done for. This time, I'm truly done for. Of all people, I had to encounter such a clueless disciple. My life is over, I've said it before, this world is extremely dangerous. Stepping outside is like playing with death. His lamentations echoed, but there was no response. Wukong lay motionless below, still not awakening. Suddenly, Wukong's eyes emitted a dazzling light.